Hi, beautiful souls. Here I am in the wonderful hedgerow next to beloved walnut tree, noticing how the colours have faded in the hedgerow, preparing for this time of rest and relaxation, peacefulness, taking their energy deep within to the roots and replenishing and speaking to the codes and the keys and everything that is within each and every plant and every living life being here on this beautiful planet. Everything has its own wisdom written into it, and as divine and sacred humans we also have our codes and our keys, and we can also up level those, we can rewrite them, we can fine-tune them, and we can create them in a way that supports us. Often through life people default onto old programs, onto old ways of coping, old strategies of coping, old systems of coping, keeping themselves small, keeping themselves a victim, keeping themselves a people pleaser, keeping themselves and whatever it was that they used as a way to navigate their world. Often people play characters, and certainly within family dynamics there's often the characters. Oh, this person plays that character and that one has that role, and it's all really very boring, because we're all here to expand, to enjoy the beauty of this life in these divine human bodies, and there are certain aspects within our lives that when we pay attention to them, I call them flourish energetics, when we pay attention to them, then we can really expand beautifully and gloriously and have a wonderful and joyful life experience. Sometimes when people are on the ascension path, they concentrate on certain areas and omit others, but it's a wholehearted affair. You can't just focus in one area. You have to be able to take your perspective high enough to see on a really wide lens, so to speak, where you may be able to add more light into your now world. So what I wish to share today is that you are the divine creator of your experience. You are the divine creator, and you create your universe. You are your own star, and if you step into that, and if you really feel that and know that to be true, then you can really take a good wide look around you. How might I like my star to shine brighter? How might I like to be more visible? How might I like to be able to add my light to the collective? How might I be able to feel better health within my body? What am I eating? How am I exercising? How am I contributing? How is my abundance? And so on and so forth. Being on the ascension path, sometimes people take a bit too seriously, a bit too heavily, and they can also go into that separation of oh yeah, well, you know, that's not how you need to do it, or a bit judgy, I guess. And all of those ways of being, those old ways of being, the judgments, the emotional, being overly emotional about things, because they just don't serve. They really don't. You have to get yourself really, really calm and relaxed. And this is what this time of year is really all about. It's just getting within, getting relaxed, getting calm, withdrawing from the crazy busyness, just writing out what your intentions are, just looking after yourself, talking to yourself, coaching yourself, coach yourself. Okay, so now how can we navigate our life better in the next year? What might we choose to do differently? Are there any areas that require deeper love, greater love, higher love? Are there any areas where our relationships need to drop off or be resolved in some way or made peace with? Sometimes we have relationships that are a little bit dysfunctional, and yet we don't address them. We just perpetuate them, because of the roles and the characters that people play. And what would it feel like if you were to say, okay, I'm going to be brave and I'm going to address that, and I'm going to choose a different way of being with that person, and I'm going to be sovereign about what it is that I require from them. You don't want to place need into it, because need is need, and that's not an empowering way to live. So what is it that would bring me greater joy from that relationship and from those exchanges that we have? How might I be able to express myself more clearly and with greater love and wisdom, and just play with that, play with that, and think into that with your heart. Think with your heart rather than your mind, and clearing your mind throughout this beautiful time of the year, just resting in the 0 point in the stillness, like the trees, like the hedgerows, and allowing the beauty of your soul to show you where you might wish to move towards. Sometimes our vision can be limited by our busyness, that when we place our intentions, we don't place them wide enough because we forget to take our perspective high, or we don't spend enough time in 0 point. When we spend more time in 0 point, more time out in nature, and take our perspective high, then things become clearer, and we gain more momentum within our wisdom and our mastery, and our ability to look through the eyes of love, through the heart of love, and thinking with our hearts rather than our over analytical minds. It's not to say that you don't use your mind, but you use the higher mind, not the egoic mind, the lower mind, the mind that fights to be right, that wants answers. I wish you all joy. Enjoy this beautiful sacred season, and I invite you to get your journal out and to write down what it is that you feel you might prefer to be a little bit more masterful with, and just be aware of those things and maybe place some solutions to those things. How might I go about that? How might I be a little bit more masterful in the way that I'm navigating my world, my experience, my universe, my dimension? Might I like to hold more light? How might I hold more light? How can I increase my light quotient? You can all increase your light levels, but you've got to be willing to let go of the things that don't serve you, willing to let go of those limitations, those beliefs, just willing to shed your skin, shed the old skin, let go of the old clothes that don't fit, that are dirty. Allow the brightness and the luminosity, the divinity and the joy to shine through your heart. And I wish you great joy onwards. Thank you for watching. My name is ZsaZsa. I'm coming to you from the hedgerow. Please subscribe, like, share, comment if you feel called to do so. Spend time in nature. It'll serve you well. God bless you all. Peace.